Hello, Raleigh. This is Whitney for Raleigh, Whitney Hill. I want to talk very quickly about what's going on out in California. Of course, I think anyone looking at this would say that there's maximum governmental incompetence involved. California has not managed their water supply well. They have created a tinderbox in there by not maintaining their forest floors. I think there is a level of incompetence with the people in government over there with being able to react to this. I'm not going to get into all that, but I think in seeing what's going on over there, and by no means are, I think we at, in Raleigh are at this kind of level of risk. But in any case, I think we need to take a look here in Raleigh at where we're at and what could happen, and are we set up in case we had a situation like this, and maybe it's a 1 in 50 year situation. Are we ready to deal with that? Now, we don't have the environmental things of at times we do have dry periods, but let's just take a look at our situation here. I took a look at our ratio of firefighters to the public, and we're right in the groove with that. Now, Raleigh is spread out, and maybe we do need to take that into consideration. I have talked with the firefighters. What they tell me is that they're able to put 3 to 4 firefighters on a truck. They'd really like to have 4 to 5. And it just may be a case of we don't have enough firefighters for the area that we have in Raleigh. So to me, that's one thing that needs to be taken a look at. The second thing is, we do live in a forest, let's say a city area that's it's has a lot of forestation. In other words, us folks in Raleigh like our trees, and we have lots of trees in the yards and the greenways all over Raleigh. In fact, we got minimums in our parking lots, and businesses get sued if they cut down a tree without getting a permit and that kind of thing, or they get ticketed. So, I don't think that's going to change. That's what we like here, but we do have a lot of pine straw, pine trees, and we do have dry periods. I think one of the things that we need to do as a city is probably take a look at what if scenarios with this. It would be interesting to hear the fire department, if there's a study they've got. That's something I want to go take a look at. But uh, that if we did have a situation in California, are we able to handle it? Do we have the water that we need, or do we have the fire trucks we need? And that's something that probably we need to take a good look at, because Raleigh is a city of trees. And my feeling is, in the right type of conditions, we could have a tinderbox type situation. We're nowhere like California. I'm not implying that, but that is something to take a look at. The other thing too is that came to my attention is that the city's no longer trimming trees that hang over traffic corridors and over streets. They used to do that. A year ago, they stopped doing it. To me, that right there could be a potential fire hazard, but obviously, too, it's not something good just for safety reasons. And, I could think of whole list of things that in the long haul, that's not a good thing. I think the city needs to get back in. If we're going to require trees to be left in Raleigh and to be in commercial places and everything, we're going to need to maintain that. And one of the things, I used to get 2 leaf pickups a year. Well, we're down to 1, and I'm still waiting on mine. I've got a stack of leaves sitting out in front of the house. It's just not practical for a lot of people and businesses to be able to transport these leaves. I've talked to homeowners that can fill up, uh, you know, 30 trash bins, city trash bins of leaves. And this in itself is somewhat of a fire hazard right there. I think we need to get back to, I'd like to see a leaf pickup each month. Yeah, it's going to cost a little more money, not three times the amount of having one because you don't have to pick as many leaves up each time. But these are city services that our citizens expect the city to do that we're accustomed to. And as our taxes are going up, these type of city services are being cut back. So where's the money going to? That's a good question. That's a whole nother video right there. It's pretty difficult to go in to find where it is going because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors with the budget. And the budget largely gets dictated to the city council and they give a up or down vote on it, sort of like happens up in Washington, D.C. with the way spending gets passed there. So those are just a few things at the top of my head about the fire situation. I do want to say one thing. We have some great workers in our fire department. I've been out and talked to these guys. They, I would say this most places that you're going to go, that the fire departments and the firefighters are special people who got a really tough job, incredibly tough job. Of course, it's dangerous. But you're also, when you're on shift, you in a city like Raleigh are on the drop of a dime, having to get up at 3 in the morning. Sometimes it's just to ride over and get there before the paramedics for someone who's having a heart attack. I've had them come by my house, overcooked some hamburgers, and a smoke alarm went off my house. And they're at my door. I'm like, oh wow! I called the alarm department and let them know that wasn't it. And they're like, we were in the neighborhood and got the alarm and we just came by. So in any case, appreciate the job these guys are doing. I think in Raleigh, it's prudent to take a real look at where we're at. I'm sure the higher ups have done that in the fire department, but this is something that I think our elected officials really need to get a full report on and look at where we're at and what we need to do. And maybe some of these city services like trimming trees over traffic thoroughfares and going to one leaf pickup. Some of these things may need to take we need to take a look at, whether we have enough water, those types of things. And I think that would be a really good thing. So this is Whitney for Raleigh signing off.